What most people don't understand is that dating is a new concept, which is probably the reason why most people can't get it right. In episode number 193 of Making the Case, we're talking about it, the faulty thinking when it comes to modern dating. Let's talk about it. Yo, what up, YouTube? We back at you with another episode number 193 of Making the Case. I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom. We got two channel norms over here. One, we attack points in our people. Then two, we don't do all that cussing derogatory stuff. We like to keep it professional over here. All right. We're kind of on our talking about, dating and modern dating kick. Excuse me. This week. So we're going to continue that on. In today's episode, we're talking about the faulty thinking when it comes to modern dating. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay. I mean that our very idea about what dating is and what should be happening during the dating process and dating stage and how it's supposed to lead us to a long-term situation or marriage is where we go wrong. Okay. Now, I mentioned in previous videos that I actually have some things that's in the work for this summer when it comes to the dating series that I'm going to have on my channel, as well as the product that I have with my vetting cards, which I call V cards. I think I'm going to change the name up on that, but stay tuned to that. So I won't go into full detail, but what I will say is this. The reason why dating is the way it is because everybody is out to get and be selfish and get what they want, right? So what are men dating for? Men are dating for sex, right? And they trying to get it as quick as possible, okay? Now, on the flip side, what are women trying to do? Women are trying to get trips. They're trying to get things bought for them. They're trying to get the experience out of dating, right? And this is the main reason why dating is not working nowadays because everybody's selfish. Everybody out for themselves and what they want to get. This is the reason why I said, in order to just not even deal with none of that, well, when you first getting to know somebody, and I won't put a time frame on it, but I will give a general gist, right? For the moment that you meet and started kind of going out and kicking it tough to probably the second or third month, well, most of the time that should be free. And if it's not going to be free, it needs to be minimal money. Okay. And he shouldn't be paying. And they shouldn't be having sex. Right. Now you're going to see who's genuine and who really want to be there for you. Okay. But you can't have sex and money involved. But who typically wants sex? Men. Who typically want the money? Women. So if you put that out the picture, now, okay, do you genuinely want something real? Do you genuinely want to get to know me? Well, you got to prove that to me. Okay. I think if we start off there, then we'll start to change the way we look at dating. We'll start to change the way, because I'm not talking about people who just say, hey, I'm just looking to have sex. I'm just looking to do this. If you're upfront and honest and that's what you want and two people agree on that, hey, we grown. Do you, right? I'm talking about people who generally want to find a partner that leads to marriage. That is what I'm speaking on. Okay. So today's episode, we're going to go over some videos that talk about kind of what is the issues going on right now in modern dating. And hey, how can we change some things? I just gave you a little tidbit, a little nugget. So, hey, take it, use it, do as you will. Okay. But let's get into our first clip.
Of labels and traditions and concepts like chivalry from the dating scene has left everyone feeling paralyzed and confused. It means that most single people end up in a kind of stasis, a limbo, not knowing whether they're in a relationship or what to do if they are in one or what to call it. And nobody knows what to call anything. The fear of commitment that permeates our culture, the aggressive sort of casualness of everything, the insistence on approaching all matters, especially matters relating to love and relationships, in a way that diametrically opposes how our grandparents approached it. All of these factors have made the dating scene not simply difficult, but effectively non-existent. People don't date. They just sort of float along on the cultural current, hoping that they bump into another piece of debris before moving on to the next. There's no sense of purpose or meaning. Certainly, there's no clear direction. The total banishment of labels and traditions and concepts like chivalry.
And, I'll be honest with you. A lot of time people like to blame it on, I've probably said this before, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this before about relationships being transactional, right? Now, relationships have always been transactional. Relationship between human beings are transactional, right? So that's always been there. So that's not the issue. The issue is now when it comes to dating, the transaction has been inflated, right? Now there's an expectation and a standard that because of the times that we're living in and social media and the economy and just people taste for what they want has shot through the roof. And so now we have this very much focus on what you can do for me versus, okay, can we come together and build a life together and actually make each other happy, right? Not you're making me happy, but can we make each other happy by being in each other's lives and bringing some type of benefit to each other, right? So he's absolutely correct on the whole idea, the swipe left and swipe right culture. We have way too many options. I'm pretty sure you've heard that and you know about that, right? So, but this is the consequences of social media. This is the consequences of capitalism, right? So to say that dating was not going to be affected, just like shopping was when the internet came. Now you got online shopping. Now you can buy your groceries online. You can get alcohol online, right? So of course dating was going to be impacted by this, right? But we just have to adjust. And also, it also goes back to what do people really want nowadays? Do they see relationship as beneficial? That is a question probably for another video. Let's get into the next clip.
Y'all to think about dating. So in my life, I can be with someone, with a lot of people, with one person, with no people. You can pick whatever. And so you're going on a date to try to get to know someone, appreciate them for who they are, and see if you have some kind of natural inclination towards them. See if y'all can vibe together or not. It's a vibe check. That's what a date is. So it's not about an outcome. It's about an experience. Not, I need to impress this person and this person needs to like me or anything like that. Don't let all that stuff go. You're going to show up as yourself. They're going to show up as themselves. You're going to be a polished version of you and just try to enjoy the experience. This was the big thing that changed a lot for me. So it started with me being a monk. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be a monk. So now that I'm hanging out with girls, like there's no semblance of any kind of romantic anything. It's not an option. It's off the table. So I can relax and I can just have a good time, right? Let's just go hang out. Let's go to lunch somewhere. Hey, are you done? We're done with lunch. Do you want to like go do something else? Like, let's go for a hike. And then you end up hanging out with people and they wind up being a little bit more attracted to you. So this is the way that I want y'all to think about it.
And it kind of goes to what I was addressing earlier, right? So when you are going out with somebody, right, that's why you should take the whole idea of money, of going somewhere fancy, take that off the table, right? Go to a park, go somewhere mutually, and just enjoy each other company, right? It shouldn't be about where you going. It should be, okay, now can we see if we are even compatible? Are we aligned on our values and our morals and our future goals and things of that nature? Because where you going ain't gonna matter if that is not in alignment, right? So people have to start thinking differently about the idea of a date, because too many women out here being like, well, you should take me out here and impress me and show me that you really like me. That's how a lot of women are thinking. Wrong. What did Charlie Murphy say? So no, that's not how it's supposed to go. And this is part of the reason why men are feeling used and abused, right? And why a lot of men are starting to pull back when it comes to the dating process. So I hear a lot of women complaining, well, men don't want to date no more. Well, that is the reason why, right? Because it's all about what you want to do and where you want to go. And if somebody can impress you or not. And that's not the whole idea of a date. All right. Let's get into the next clip.
Is that we've completely forgotten what dating is for. People find it hard to admit to the person they're seeing let alone to themselves, that they're actually looking for a serious, committed relationship. We've traded the pursuit of a meaningful relationship for a series of casual encounters and endless situationships. But here's the truth. Dating has always been about finding a life partner, someone to go through the joys and sorrows of life with. The fear of seeming too serious or too needy has led many to hide their real intentions and to waste time and emotional energy on people they're not really compatible with. So the next time you go on a date, be clear about what you're looking for. Dating should have a purpose. And if that purpose is finding a partner to build a future with, own it. It's not about scaring people away. It's about attracting the right ones. The problem with dating today is that
Well, I will have to push back on one thing. Like I said in the beginning, dating is a modern concept, a modern term. What people used to do is court, right? And the reason why courting is not around anymore, because courting had to do with being traditional, right? You courted a woman because she was a virgin. And if she wasn't a virgin, she maybe only had one or two sexual partners. It wasn't like nowadays, right? So a woman saw that value in the woman and took her seriously from the get-go. And from the male perspective, the reason why a lot of men are not being serious about getting in a relationship and why they have these situationships or they're willing to have these one-night stands or what have you is because they know a lot of women out here are tainted sexually. All right. Now, from the woman's standpoint, her standards has rose as she get more successful. Her standard rose. She's watching social media. She wants everything in a man. She want to piece together this man. She wanted to be Superman, right? So dating is difficult for women who think like that, right? So it looks a little bit different for the man and woman how dating is going, but yes, it's difficult because I think what's going on now, just like how a lot of women who are more on the feminism kick are saying that, well, they don't need a man. That is the same thing that is going on now with relationships. People are saying that they don't need relationships. Because if you're going to say you don't need a man, then that means you don't need a relationship. But a lot of women are still saying they want a relationship. Key word, they saying they want a relationship, right? So it's going to be hard to be in a successful relationship when you feel like you don't need somebody. And that is what's going on. Okay. We don't value relationships anymore. Long term, that is. We value things short term. And we can move on to the next one and do the same thing again. Let's get into our last clip. Oh, this is getting good.
World has made us very scared. The dating world has become extremely toxic. And because of that, maybe non-toxic people will also start to behave more toxic because it's becoming the norm. But if you really look under the hood, if you really look deep down inside, even the people that are hurting the most, we all want to be loved. We all want to be together with someone. We all want to feel that connection. But all the shit that's happening around us basically is preventing us from actually showing up or putting our best foot forward or actually, wanting to make things work. I think today's world has made us very scared.
And I agree wholeheartedly with them. I think a lot of people are scared. I think a lot of people are traumatized based off their past experiences. I think a lot of people are hurt. And so, but naturally they want to feel that connection, right? Which is why they keep trying, right? But they very pessimistic when they're out here dating and they keep on trying, right? They just waiting for that moment for you to mess up, for you to say something that they don't like or do something that the last person did or why you left them, right? So unfortunately, a lot of us out here operating under the guise is we just waiting for you to mess up so we can replace you. Because guess what? It's somebody else out there that's waiting that's going to give you a chance. And that's how we moving right now in the dating market. And then we're wondering why most of us are not having success, or people are turning celibate, right? Or they are saying that, you know what, I'm swearing off men or I'm swearing off women. You mainly gonna hear women say they swearing off men, right? If men can't get a woman, they're probably just an incel. Let's just be real. But this goes back to how we are thinking and going into it, right? If we're just going into it for a good time and not a long time, and we're going into it in a very selfish manner, this is the reason why we're getting the outcomes and the outputs that we're getting, right? Because we're not genuine. We're not going into it with true intentions. So you get what you give. We're going to leave the video on that note, man. I thought this was a good episode. Please leave your comments, man. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's all faulty thinking and why dating is where it is? Please share what you feel on it. But as always, I'm you and me. Love always, love return. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we out. Deuces. One love.